Young and the Restless spoilers. Mariah scared Ian wards her kidnapper. Young and the Restless spoilers have Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, locked away worried that Ian Ward, Ray Wise, is the one that has her. As of this week, she's still stuck in that windowless room. And she's stressing over who might have grabbed her. Mariah frets that it might be an enemy of Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and then she name-drops one of the wickedest men on YNR, Ian Ward. Did Ian Ward kidnap Mariah Copeland on Young and the Restless? While suspicions point to someone else snatching surrogate Mariah Copeland, she's running through a list of known and unknown threats. Recall, Tessa has enemies from way back thanks to that human trafficking stuff. As for Mariah, longtime watchers might recall that she grew up in a cult whose leader was none other than creepy Ian Ward. Although Mariah is Sharon Newman's, Sharon Case, biological child and twin to Cassie Newman, she was sold as a newborn. And Ian bought her, recalls Young and the Restless history. In a horrific turn of events, Ian had raised her in his cult, then married her when she was older. That came after Ian Ward drugged her. Thankfully, that marriage was later invalidated. At the same time on Young and the Restless, Ian Ward blackmailed Sharon for millions for Mariah's return. Ian was jailed for his crimes. But he broke loose later to wreak more havoc. Last anyone saw Ian, he was headed to prison after tormenting the Newmans and blackmailing them at gunpoint. So, when Mariah Copeland asks herself if Ian kidnapped her, she also said that he should be in prison. Is Ian working with Stitch Rayburn on YNR? All signs point to Ben Stitch Rayburn, Sean Carrigan, being the kidnapper on Young and the Restless. He was lurking outside the Chancellor Mansion staring at Mariah Copeland right before she disappeared. Plus, he lied about the hospital hiring him as surgery chief. So, one extreme notion is that Stitch hired Ian to kidnap Mariah so he can play the hero and rescue her. That way, Ben would look wonderful to Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway, on Young and the Restless. But that seems a stretch. It also seems a stretch to think Ian Ward might be the kidnapper when Stitch was the one creeping and peeping. However, Mariah Copeland didn't even have Stitch on her radar. So, that's why her mind drifted to Ian, a known threat, instead. For now, whoever stuck Mariah in that basement hasn't revealed themselves on Young and the Restless. So, she assumes the worst about who's on the other side of that door. Ian's not a bad guess since he bought her as a baby. Maybe Ian Ward's interested in the baby she carries. But Ben Rayburn sure seems a better fit for this crime. When will Young and the Restless reveal Mariah's kidnapper? This week on YNR, Mariah's friends and family continue to debate whether she's really missing or just needs some time away. Ray Rosales, Jordi Villasuso, scoffs at Tessa's concern about the phone tracking app that doesn't work. Meanwhile, Tessa seems to be the only one who's really certain that Mariah Copeland is missing and something's wrong on Young and the Restless. It's been a while now that Mariah's been missing. But the CBS soap showed where she's stashed finally. But there's no clues about where she's being held. The place looks like it might be the Carlton Manor which Abby owns, but is not in use. That's a place Stitch would know about. And it's a place Ian Ward might know about too, given how clever he is on Young and the Restless. Watch this week to see if Mariah Copeland panics on CBS and becomes more certain that Ian Ward's the one that has her. But it's more likely, it's not the crazy cult leader. Instead, it might be Abby's ex who seems like a much nicer guy. Keep watching YNR to see what goes down with the kidnapped surrogate. Get all your Young and the Restless spoilers from Spoilers. Ashland proposes, Victoria accepts, trouble ahead? Young and the Restless spoilers indicate Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, accepts Ashland Locke's, Richard Burgi, marriage proposal. Romance is in the air during the couple's trip to New York City. While in the tycoon's penthouse, he pops the question on the CBS soap opera. Vicky happily says yes and plans begin. However, there are still unanswered questions. Young and the Restless spoilers, Victoria Newman and Ashland Locke engaged. Ashland Locke jets to NYC with Victoria Newman. They have a whirlwind trip. There, he ties up loose ends. Then, Ashland prepares his penthouse to be sold. Ashland also makes an appointment to see a specialist with Victoria at his side. At Victoria's urging, he has decided to seek treatment for his cancer, per YNR spoilers. He even invites the pretty brunette to attend his appointment. However, she is hesitant due to the personal nature of the encounter. Young and the Restless spoilers question if Ashland Locke's illness is truly a fatal one. Or rather he is playing a game with Victoria Newman. It seems legit. And when Ashland proposes, she accepts. And they bask in the glow of the new development. Quickie wedding coming soon on YNR. Young and the Restless spoilers predict wedding plans will move fast. Victoria Newman jumped in headfirst to the romance with Ashland Locke. The nuptials will take the same course. Before the month is over, Ashland Locke will likely marry Victoria Newman. However, before the celebration, Victoria faces a lot of questions from her loved ones about Ashland. Her ex-husband, Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, will be the most vocal about these ASAP nuptials to Ashland Locke. Young and the Restless spoilers say he's shocked about how fast things are moving with her and Ashland. He most likely doesn't support the union of Victoria with the older businessman on Young and the Restless. The Abbott heir worries that Victoria Newman will be devastated when her new husband Ashland Locke dies due to his cancer. Billy also is concerned about how these newest developments will affect their children. Victoria's parents will also question the speed at which her relationship with Ashland moves, per Young and the Restless spoilers. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, worry that their daughter is making a rash decision. However, they also want her to be happy. Ashland definitely fits that bill. With him, Victoria's shown a side of herself that has not been seen for quite some time on Young and the Restless. So family and friends will gather to witness Victoria wed Ashland. Young and the Restless spoilers. Is Ashland conning Victoria? Big questions remain. Is Ashland being honest with Victoria? Is he really about to die of lung cancer? Does he truly love Newman CEO Victoria? Or is he out for revenge against Victor's namesake daughter? Young and the Restless recaps remind that Ashland quickly insinuated himself into every aspect of Victoria's life. If he is up to no good, he has the power to destroy Victoria. He can ruin her family business and break her heart. Young and the Restless spoilers hope that the savvy businesswoman has finally found true love. Astoria could be the next power couple in Genoa City. Or it could be her total downfall. Is the Loch Ness Monster about to rear his ugly head? We've heard Ashland Locke is a tyrant but haven't seen it. He's been sweet as can be with Victoria Newman. Keep watching the CBS Sudzer to see what will happen after the wedding. Victoria may finally find happiness. Or have her world blown apart. Only time will tell if Ashland's motives are pure on YNR. For the hottest Young and the Restless summer spoilers, check Soap Dirt News Daily. Revisited. Ashland proposes, Victoria accepts, the million-dollar question, trouble ahead? The world of the Young and the Restless was irrevocably shaken by a momentous decision that sent shockwaves not only through the Newman dynasty but across all of Genoa City. Media mogul Ashland Locke, originally played by Richard Burgi, proposed marriage to the Newman family's fierce scion, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and in a twist that left many viewers gasping, the Ice Princess said yes. This wasn't just another soap opera engagement. It was a high-stakes union fraught with peril, suspicion, and a multi-billion-dollar corporate merger that hung in the balance. The question wasn't if trouble was ahead, but how catastrophically it would explode. The whirlwind romance. Too fast, too furious. The relationship between Victoria and Ashland, dubbed Astoria by fans, was a whirlwind of corporate power plays, mutual respect, and a terrifying ticking clock. Ashland had arrived in Genoa City as the Loch Ness Monster, a ruthless businessman with a reputation for devouring companies. His interest in a merger with Newman Enterprises put him squarely in Victoria's path. Yet, amid the sharp business dealings, a genuine spark ignited. Victoria, ever the formidable businesswoman, saw a kindred spirit in Ashland, a person who understood the hunger for power and the complexities of running a global empire. The romance took its dramatic turn with the reveal of Ashland's terminal cancer diagnosis. Facing a limited time to live, Ashland's vulnerability seemed to melt Victoria's carefully constructed professional armor. What began as a strategic alliance quickly evolved into a passionate connection, driven by a desire to live life fully and unapologetically. When Ashland got down on one knee, presenting a magnificent ring, Victoria's immediate, heartfelt yes solidified their commitment. But for the veteran viewer, the alarm bells were deafening. In the world of Genoa City, relationships forged under such intense pressure, especially ones involving terminal illness and colossal fortunes, are rarely the stuff of fairy tales. They are, instead, the makings of primetime drama. The Newman reaction. The Mustache vs. The Monster. The news of the engagement, delivered by a glowing Victoria and an unusually sincere Ashland, was met with predictable, explosive reactions from the Newman family patriarch, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and the ever-protective Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott. Victor's initial response was a barely concealed fury. He respected Ashland's business acumen, but trusting him with his daughter's heart, especially given the murky circumstances of his health and his past, which was already showing cracks, was an entirely different matter. Ashland Locke is playing a game, Victoria. Don't be a pawn. One could almost hear Victor bellowing in his infamous leather chair. The great Victor Newman had built his empire on protecting his family, and he smelled a rat the size of a conglomerate. His paternal instincts went into overdrive, immediately launching a deep-dive investigation into Ashland's past, determined to expose any and all secrets before his daughter made a monumental mistake. Nikki, ever the diplomat, attempted a forced smile, but her eyes betrayed her concern. She knew Victoria was stubborn and drawn to men of her father's ilk, but the speed of this romance, combined with the life-and-death stakes, was deeply unsettling. Billy Boy's frenzy, the ex's obsession. No reaction was perhaps more predictable or more melodramatic than that of Victoria's ex-husband, Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. Despite being in a committed relationship with Lily Winters, Billy's ingrained habit of trying to save Victoria immediately resurfaced. Billy became obsessed, convinced that Ashland was a fraud who was simply using Victoria to gain control of Newman Enterprises before faking his death. He used his platform at Chancecom to dig relentlessly, driven by a mix of genuine concern and a desperate need to feel relevant in Victoria's life. His actions only served to push Victoria closer to Ashland, as she fiercely defended her fiancé against her meddling ex. This provided high engagement fodder, as fans debated on social media. Was Billy being a hero or an irritating busybody? The ultimate foreshadowing, secrets and lies. The drama was fueled by the constant drip feed of information revealing Ashland's deceit. Viewers, and eventually the Newmans, learned about the original Ashland Locke dying in a car crash, and how Bobby DeFranco took his name and built his empire on a lie. This massive deception, though seemingly forgiven by a smitten Victoria, only confirmed the fears of her family. Ashland was a master manipulator. The most potent element of the trouble ahead lay in the central plot device, the terminal illness. In the world of soap operas, a diagnosis is rarely what it seems. Fan speculation ran wild. The fake illness, Ashland was never sick, and it was all a ploy to gain Victoria's trust and Newman Locke. The miraculous cure, he was sick, but miraculously went into remission, allowing him to live on and fight for the Newman Empire. The ultimate sacrifice, he would die, but his secrets would destroy Victoria first. The engagement cemented the upcoming Tuscany wedding, a spectacular, real-location event that all viewers knew would be the backdrop for a huge reveal. Victoria, blinded by love and pride, was heading straight for an iceberg. She was convinced her love could redeem the Loch Ness Monster, echoing the classic Newman trope of trying to fix the broken, powerful man. A legacy of conflict. The acceptance of the proposal was a defining moment for Victoria, positioning her as a woman willing to defy her powerful family for a man she believed in, a man who challenged her like no one else. Yet, in doing so, she stepped onto a tightrope stretched over a chasm of corporate sabotage and personal betrayal. This shocking news of the engagement was the perfect soap opera catalyst, setting the stage for a spectacular fall. The marriage would eventually happen, the secrets would eventually be exposed, and the ensuing double cross, where Victoria thought she was playing Ashland, only for him to return with a vengeful fire, provided months of gripping, high-engagement television. The answer to the initial question? Yes, trouble was ahead. It wasn't just trouble. It was a tornado of corporate warfare and shattered hearts that would redefine the landscape of Newman Enterprises and lead to one of the most memorable and dramatic character deaths in recent Y&R history. The moment Victoria accepted that ring, she sealed her fate for an unforgettable year of deception and revenge.